Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Mr. Joe Biden. Mr. Biden, yes, no, toward the camera, President, yes, right there, no, Mr. President, back, just sit in the seat, Mr. President, just sit in the seat, yes, there we go, Mr. President, the eagle is coming, the eagle's in flight, P-square 1, 2, he is sitting, the eagle has landed. You're good, sir.
Thank you. I wanted to start off with talking about, I got two things to talk about. What is that? What did I tell you I was going to talk about? All right, fuck it, I'm not going to even talk about it.
Happy Halloween!
Hey. I'm going to get thrown off the air.
We've been cracking up all morning on this. Sammy just had us put this together last minute, real fast. You got a lot of laughy faces, Sammy. Welcome to Mondays Live.
Welcome to Mondays Live. We got a little spoof on the president, and now we're...
Rich is just focusing the camera for us. Good morning, Richie, or afternoon. Amina's in the house, Lily's in the house, Heather's in the house, and Gerard is on his way. He is baking and cooking and shaking this morning in the kitchen for us.
That's a good thing. We got everything going. And, hey, all you guys, great. I love you guys. I figured I'd start off with a little bit of an entertainment move. And you know what made me do this? I was going from my bedroom to another part of the office, and I found myself walking like that. I'm 78 years old, too, so I said, oh, my God, I'm starting to walk like him. So I said, let me do this. So
that was awesome. That's probably one of the best impressions I've ever seen. Now we got to get your friend Alec Baldwin to do the Trump for us.
The Trump thing.
Yeah, his Trump impression.
Yes.
Gina.
Gina.
Well, okay, Sammy, let's jump right into some comments that we got back from part 1 of Warden Robert Hood that dropped last Wednesday.
Right. Now, I'm pulling another Joe Biden over here. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'll wind up putting the ashes in my coffee. All right, here we go. All right, what was the question?
So let's see. Anima1 had said that, and this was one of the comments on the actual video, I've always had a morbid curiosity about the ADX Florence. Its existence seems so bleak, but you paint a picture that my worst nightmares wouldn't have imagined. True respect for running the gauntlet you did and came out on the other side.
Yes, I mean, it's horrible. This is what, I'm challenging a lot of people in changing the policies and changing everything. And I was blessed to find Warden Hood when he retired. He liked the way I conducted myself when I was in prison there. I joked. I try to keep my sanity. I did 6.5 years in the hole, as you know, and it was really, really hard. And I admitted in the show that a couple of times I think I almost lost it. And it's not really a hard thing to do. When you stay in your room or you stay in a place during the COVID virus, I'm sure a lot of you people were locked up, and it drives you crazy, and you have all the luxuries of your home. You have your wife, you have your kids, you have your dogs, try to imagine what did he say it was, I think 7 feet by 12-foot cell. Your shower is in there, everything is in there, you never leave, an hour a day. And I want to add to that an hour a day, as long as it's not raining or snowing or there's a problem in the yard with the inmates, then you don't go out. So it's not guaranteed an hour a day, but most of the times you get an hour out, which is not really a big deal. half the times you don't know if you're going to get a shank in your back or something. So it's not the most pleasurable hour, you know. So yeah, it's demoralizing. I've seen so many people just fall apart. When they stopped the smoking, there was a guy in the cell next to me. He couldn't handle it. He defecated in the cell and took it and pushed it all over the walls and everything. I was starting to smell it a cell away from him. And I had asked the guard, what the hell is that smell, bro? And they went in there, they fumigated the whole place. They had to lock them down. I mean, guys actually lost their minds because they weren't allowed to smoke. You know, smoking, I guess, was the last thing I was smoking in the ADX. I stopped in 2004, just like the warden said. And he was a great guy. I met a nurse. I had a butterfly. Just weird things that made me occupy my mind. And if you don't have those little things, I think anybody will eventually lose their mind out of boredom and whatever. So I thought it was a great interview. The next episode will be out on Wednesday, and you can see that. Listen, I want to apologize for a few things before I get started. We started off with doing Table in the Back, where we would do it there first because they're paid subscribers, and we would keep it there for 2 weeks, and then we would put it out on YouTube for free, but you had it out for 2 weeks. We are putting it out a little bit faster due to an argument or two I had with some people who wanted to force me to do what they wanted me to do, and I didn't do it. And what I did is I said, well, fuck it. Now I'm going to put it out whenever I feel like putting it out. But I didn't think that some of you guys would be offended by it, and I don't blame you if you are. But give me a little break here. You know, I can't do everything, and there's going to be a lot of content that I'm working on. This weekend, I must have got 20 calls, important calls, for some of the projects that I'm working on, some of the content that's going to be on the OurThing.tv. So I know right now you might feel like I took advantage. You're paying, you know, $4.99 and you're not getting any benefit, but you will. Just hang with me and give me a little breathing room, and I promise you that you're going to see things on OurThing.tv that's spectacular, that will not be seen anywhere. And some of the social medias, I'm going to just probably use it as advertisement, my teasers, but you're gonna get a lot of content. That's my plan. That's what we're doing, working on. Right now, you're not getting it that way. I understand, and I apologize. So.
Nice, Sammy. Thank you. I know you have a lot going on. You're spinning about 20, 30 plates right now at all times.
Right.
You know, I really wanted to touch on what you said, the butterfly, the nurse. There's a comment that came in as well on how your extraordinary level of resiliency in the ADX. And one gentleman said, moths are assigned to trust your intuition, Sammy. This symbolizes your own ability to navigate the world based on your instincts and inner knowledge.
That's a little over my head, but the moth was something that gave me a little bit of freedom, that this thing would land on me. I couldn't believe in it. The first time it happened, it landed on me and it started crawling up my arm, on my chest, on my neck, and I didn't move. I just wanted to see what it would do. I'm not afraid of moths. And then it went up on my face. I was going to brush it away, but I went nice and easy, and when my finger touched it, instead of flying away, it started crawling on my finger. And I took him down. I was looking at him. I put him on my chest. We had a wool blanket. I know moths eat wool, so I put him on the blanket so he could eat and hang out. And it became my friend. When my daughter found out I was doing that, she thought I lost my mind. I said, I got a pet. She said, what kind of pet? I said, a moth. She thought I lost my mind. And I think I didn't lose my mind. That's what kept my mind together. A nurse who was kind, a warden who was kind in a lot of ways. It sounds crazy, but he was. He retired, and now he's helping me with fighting prison reform. Shows you what kind of guy this guy is. He's actually contradicting some of the things that were done. Of course, he was the warden. He had to implement those things by policy. That's his job. But he wasn't happy about a lot of those things. When they cut out the cigarettes, they wanted them to go in and just take everybody's cigarettes. They just bum rush you and take everything. He didn't want to do that. He made an announcement. In such and such a date, it's going to stop. Go to commissary, buy as many as you want. We're not going to come in and take it away from you. And I recognize that as compassionate. And it's those little things that keep you going. And then, you know, dreams of the outside and getting out and whatever. So it's a tough, tough place. It's not that you're getting beatings or you're doing stuff like that, not that kind of tough. A mental toughness. And that breaks more guys, tough guys I saw break, that will eat you alive in the yard and start crying and wanting to kill themselves and stuff like that. So I thought it was going to be an interesting interview. I've read a lot of the comments. A lot of you guys loved it. It was different than the mob, but basically it had the same effect. You know, and when I'm fighting for it, I'm trying to get a few other people to help me with prison reform. A couple of really well-known names. What's her name again?
Candace Owens, Megyn
Candace
Kelly.
Owen,
Oh,
Megyn
yeah.
Kelly. I'm sending a copy to them and saying, well, if you want to join me just for prison reform, you know, because I know that they talk about it as well, you know, I'm open to it. And then some other guys now are doing prison reform. So I think I started a little bit of, you know, some of them do it for jealousy. They want to do what I'm doing. They watch everything I do. The same thing here. There'll be contradictions and stuff. And so anyway, yeah, let's get back to Get Gotti. There was questions, I think, about that. I know I got a bunch of them when this movie came out. So
Jason Pratt from rthing.tv. I started watching the series Get Gotti on Netflix. I was wondering if you've seen it and had any thoughts on its accuracy. P.S. I really enjoy all of the content you and your team are putting out, and I drive a truck at night and listen to you while I'm driving. It gives me something to look forward to going back to work on Monday nights. Keep up the great work.
thank you so much. Listen, I watched it myself. I think it was very, very well done. Anthony was great. You know, he tells the side of the mafia, the other side where I wasn't on that side with his father, Fat Andy, and Tony Lee. And he's very knowledgeable, and he tells the truth. I like that about him. I think he did a great job. There was other people on there. There was a lot of truth to it, the FBI and how they got Gotti. You know, it told the story of what Gotti and Angelo Ruggiero actually did. They united the whole fucking government, all kinds of agencies against us. And a lot of people got hurt. You know, a lot of people don't realize that part of it, all that flashy bullshit and all of that was a nightmare. Even I think one of the news people said he had a big mouth. And aside from that, my tapes with me and him and Frankie LaCasio and Tommy Gambino, we all got pinched on his tapes. Angelo's caused the destruction of the mafia altogether. So, and there was a woman there. I know who the woman is. I know who she's talking about. She went out with somebody. I don't want to knock anybody. They have their stories. They got their job. They, you know, listen, they're getting ahead. I don't think a lot of it is 100% true, but I'll leave it at that. I don't want to get into name calling. I don't do that. Her husband, Fogarty, they said he was somebody who would bury bodies for me. I knew him on the street, and he did exactly that. So that's true. He dug a hole for me one time. We were going to do a piece of work. We didn't do it. He had to cover it up. When I was in jail with him, I did time with him as well. A great guy, 6'3", 6'4", beast with his hands. Real tough guy. Even now, he's changed his life. He's out. I'm still in contact with him. real tough guy. They're not married anymore. And I knew her brother, a tough kid too. I had a problem with him on wreck one time on a roof. Me and him almost went to blows. He's a dangerous kid. He's not that big of a kid. He's little, maybe a little bit taller than me, thin. But we had an argument. We almost went to blows. The cops broke it up, and but he's not. He's a good kid too, tough kid. She comes from a tough family. I don't think she knew Gotti at all. Gotti may have known her. There was another guy, a drug dealer, that she went out with. She said she went out with Frankie Lino. I don't doubt it. She was beautiful when she was young. She says she just hung out with him and he bought her a Mercedes convertible, $50,000 car, and she never did anything. Bro, I knew Frankie Lino real good. You could have been Marilyn Monroe. You couldn't get $50,000 off of him to buy a car, and especially just because you're a friend of his. Frankie Lino was a great guy. I love him. I'm not knocking him, but he was a little on the cheap side. He had money, but he's a little on the cheap side. So a lot of those things may be a little exaggerated, but it made for a good story. She talked very, very well. She's still pretty. I think she's in her 70s or late 60s or something. She's still a pretty woman. The newscasters were good, the FBI agents and everything. It was even interesting to me, the part where they had an apartment 2.5 blocks away from us. Now, the FBI didn't have that kind of equipment. The government did for wars and stuff. They gave them that equipment. If you saw those, they're 2.5 blocks away. It looks like they're 100 feet away from us with a camera. What equipment? We didn't stand a chance. Once you formed, like John created that heat, we were all dead. You don't stand a chance when you got FBI, DEA, this agency, that agency, the Southern District, the Northern District, everybody's fighting over, they want to eat us. We were dead. So that's what you get when all that flashy bullshit. Cosa Nostra is a secret society, something we don't expose ourselves, we don't admit to it, we don't overdress, we don't do these things. He did it. People think it was a great move. Truth is coming out more and more. It was a horrible move. It destroyed the entire mafia. More than 15 guys who cooperated put together. And that's just facts. This is coming right out of the government. They have all of the tapes. They have all of the things. So you know this is not bullshit. It's truth. Mm-hmm. So all that dressing up, I tried to avoid that. They said that in the show at the end. They didn't talk too much about me. But I thought it was a great show. I thought it was very, very well done. And it showed me another thing. It became #1 right away. So the people, not only you guys, but the people, the country, has an appetite for the mob and everything coming out. I think that's why my show is growing by the day. And there's a couple of movies I'm talking about. The interest is there big time. Everybody really wants to know it, and they want to know the truth. There's a lot of people, again, I'm not going to mention names, that just go on and they tell stories and they'll call names, call me a liar, they called Anthony a liar. And that's the only way they can get, people to listen to them, because they don't have a story. They don't have truth. So they could only call us liars and stuff like that to get subscribers and views or whatever they're going to get.
Well, I implore your listeners, I know you have very avid, loyal listeners, but the newer ones, to go back and listen to where it all started, episode 1, season 1 of Our Thing podcast. And George Gabriel and all those guys are in there with their own voiceovers saying when Gotti got in the car, and you can tell the story obviously better than anyone here, when he got in the car and he said, "You do a little too much talking at the woman upstairs apartment," if you could tell your viewers.
Yeah, well, that's very, very true. John would joke and brag and do certain things, and he was antagonizing them when we got arrested. I ain't going anywhere, this and that and the other thing. It's true. When they put him in the car, George Gabriel turned around and said, He told George Gabriel, watch, they love me. I'm not going to prison. Even your mother loves me. George Gabriel's a Greek, and he says, I don't think my mother loves you. She's a Greek immigrant, and she has no love for you whatsoever. But one thing I want to tell you, you should watch your mouth. What you set up in, I think her name was Mary's apartment, and he just shut up. He realized, oh my God, all his talking was in that apartment. He himself knew, I'm dead. And then Sammy's going to find out all that backstabbing, his plan of trying to take me out, all of this was going to come out. I'm sure he just shut up and didn't say another word. He must have been sick hearing that from George Gabriel. And so it showed a lot of truth. You know, I get people telling me that's not true. John didn't have to rat, all this fucking bullshit. Guys are close to him. There's not that many people who were close to him. Everybody wants to say that for whatever reason. They have their own personal reasons. But, you know, some of that's exaggerated. I'll put it that way. I'm not saying anybody's lying. I'm not saying she was lying. She's probably telling the truth, exaggerating a little bit. And if she was getting things from guys, listen, these guys are hardcore guys. You're not getting something, what are they, Santa Claus? These are real hardcore guys she was talking about. They're not giving you that for nothing. So, and I think you guys know that too. But it's nothing wrong. It's exaggerated. She wants to protect whatever she did.
Sure.
It's fine with me. It doesn't matter. But I thought it was very, very well done. It shows me that there's a tremendous appetite for crime stories, especially mafia crime stories.
And Anthony can tell a story, man. He's pretty dang good.
He's good at it. You know what I like about him? He's very truthful. He's a jolly type of guy. And he tells the truth and, you know, as best as he can. And now he might make a mistake with a date or something like that, and you want to call him a liar.
It's
We're
crazy.
thinking back for years. When I'm talking 30, 40, 50 years ago. So I can make a mistake with a date or a month or a time or a place. It's normal stuff. But Anthony's very, very truthful. I really got to like him a lot. I did meet him a few times, just like he said, with his father. But I thought it was really good. Everything is there. Yeah, Anthony's a great guy. Matter of fact, I'm going to see him. I want to see him in November again. I did a 3-part series with him that did very, very well. I think I got 500,000 hits. He's got almost 150, 175,000. We have over 600 and something thousand hits on it. When he comes here, we're going to do another. Could I say this? I mean, I would like to surprise the audience. When he comes here, I want him to come here on a Sunday night, and I want to ask him to be a guest on my live. Me and him talking with our live on that Monday that he's here. So I want to do that.
Yeah,
with him.
absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll just let it roll. You guys just go as long as you want.
Yeah, he could stay here as long as he wants. Yeah, I hope he moves here.
Amen.
I got another friend of mine, my friend Kevin. He was friendly. He was in the A-Light crew. He can't stand A-Light, but, you know, he was in his crew. I did time with him, not a great guy. He's talking about moving down here. So there's guys who did their time, straightened their life out, and would like to come here and join me. And for me, it would be great. It would be like the old days, sitting down, playing little cards, hanging out, coming on the live with me at different times. So that's why I'm saying there's going to be a lot of content on our thing, .tv, in time. We're planning so many things, you'll be amazed. And you won't be disappointed in the long run.
Absolutely. Sammy believes in quality, not quantity.
Yes. Yeah. Everything I do has got to be quality.
Mm-hmm.
When I start doing art, I don't know how many of them I ripped up and threw away. And Kevin's one of the guys, he's a great artist. He says, Sammy, don't throw that stuff away. There's a fuck up or two, I'll help you straighten it out. Boom, he would come in, fix it a little bit, make it look better. It was great. And then he started teaching me what to do and how to do it. Not a great guy, and so I hope he comes down and stuff.
Well, speaking of assembling a new crew, you have a super chat from Voodoo Karate. Hey, Sammy, pick your Cosa Nostra dream team. If you could pick any gangster in mafia history, who would be your administration and who would be your captains?
A dream team. Well, I would love to have Tito as my captain, no doubt about it. Now, a boss, an underboss, and a consigliere. I think I would make a great boss, to tell you the truth. Not, but if leaving me out, the dream team would be. Listen, Chin was a tough guy. He was straight up Cosa Nostra. I had a lot of respect for him. I think Chin could have been a good underboss or boss, either way. I think Carlo Gambino was a great boss. So Carlo Gambino, Chin Gigante as a gunslinger. I'd love Frankie DeChico to be the gunslinger. He another great guy, tough guy. So you'd have all tough guys on top. Guys are thinkers, guys are fair. Kill you in a minute, but you'd have to deserve it. So I could deal with people like that. So I guess something like that would be good.
Nice. It's a good team.
Yeah, and everyone I mentioned could have been either the boss, the underboss, or they could. Any one of those positions could have swapped. I think Carlo Gambino would have been great with Chin Gigante as the underboss and Frankie DeChico as the consigliere. I think that would be a dream team. Tito as my captain and me under him as his acting captain. I would be in heaven.
Wow.
If I die and go to heaven, I hope they're all there, and that I'm on that team.
You have a cigarette with them and an espresso with the lemon peel?
Yeah. Yeah. That's real Cosa Nostra. That's out and out real Cosa Nostra.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Sammy. John Simp with his weekly envelope for you. No question, no comment.
Thank you, pal. Appreciate it.
Let's see. Liam Patrick. Hi, Sammy. What do you think about the Colombo family making a guy from Boston their acting boss? I guess this happened a few years ago, and it turns out he was actually a cooperator from the 1970s.
A guy from Boston became the acting boss of the Colombo
family. Mm-hmm.
And he was
a
cooperator. I'm confused. I don't know who that is. What's his name?
Liam, what's his name, sweetheart? Let's if anybody in the chat too wants to jump in. Steve Jackson, hey Sammy, you mentioned once that a made guy, Frankie DeChico I think, told you he'd warn you if there was a hit on you. Are there guys you'd have done that for if you got the word that there was a hit out on them?
We've done that a number of times when we thought the hit wasn't justified. I'm going to give you one guy. I don't remember his name. He was really an associate. He was a drug dealer. He got busted. The order was to take him out. Paul Castellano's cousin was a made guy, and he got busted for drugs. His punishment was his son was going to get made, this guy. Nobody go to the wedding. Disgrace him, embarrass him. I mean, it's heavy, but he's still alive. Why the fuck are we going to kill this guy? He's not even made. He don't have to be killed. And John Gotti would know him. John Gotti knew him. Frankie Chico knew him. I knew him. We all talked. And he hit the road. He never got whacked. When we took over from Castellano, we asked him if he could come back in. And he refused. He made a life for himself, got married, had a life. But we had told him, you want to come back now, you could. The hit's off. So there's a couple of times when that happened. There's one time I tried desperately to get somebody away and a hit took place. I'm not going to say who it is because the family's still alive and he didn't get away and he wound up getting killed. I'm not going to talk about him or who the family is. But yes, there's a number of times. People who know me know that if I had an order, I would kill you. But if I really, really thought it wasn't necessary, I would try everything to save you. I did that with DB as well. I went back and forth. John was in jail. Angelo was bringing me messages. Joe Piney talked to me about it. And I fought that tooth and nail until I couldn't fight anymore. I did that with Louis Melito. I didn't tell him to run, but I fought for him and I saved him twice. Frankie DeChico, we found out that Louis betrayed us. I don't want to get into the whole story, but he betrayed us. Frankie DeChico was going to kill him. I said, please, I grew up with him all my life. I know the whole family. His daughter sits on my lap. She calls me Uncle Sammy. I call her Princess. Frankie DeChico didn't want to know nothing. He just wanted him whacked. Frankie DeChico was killed. I went and talked to John. I saved him. He got out of line again, talking with Joey Bellotti. You know, me and you were in the same boat. Joey said, what do you mean? He said, well, Sammy's got a big position now. And Joey said, no, he saved me, bro. I'm not in your fucking boat. We found out about that conversation. I saved him again. A third thing came down. John Gotti told me, keep your mouth shut, mind your business. He's going to go. I asked to be there just so he would go quickly and not brutally and not in a disrespectful way. He died because his balls were too big. Stupid shit. But I tried. Sometimes I tried and failed. Sometimes I succeeded. There was a guy in the Russian mafia that I succeeded to save his life too. Talking to Paul Castellano, he talked to the people in the Russian mafia, and he got a break. So, but the life, it is what it is. When you have an order, it's like in the military, you're a soldier. You have to carry it out. Now, you could squawk and talk about it, but when they tell you, conversation over, that's it. He's got to go. Now, to tell them to run, I don't know. We did it, like I said, once. It's not something I would normally do. You know, you got to remember, you broke the rules. You did something that you're going to be killed. Now, if they find out I told him to run, I'm going to die. I'm not going to die because you're a fuck-up. So I'm not too eager to tell somebody to run because my life is on the line. I will talk for him, but if I can't get it to first base with it, then that's it. But we did that once that I can remember. We all participated in that. Mm-hmm. Me, Frankie, and John. And this is before we were all together. This was when Paul was alive, and it was a while back. So, but it's not something that I was eager to do. You fucked up, you know. And look at John. John and his whole crew was going to get killed. That shows you they were finished. They were done.
Wow. Thank you, Sammy. Frank Logan in the super chat. Sammy, how do you keep your cool with all of the other people that are being negative towards you, talking shit, yada, 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 riding your coattails, basically?
You know what it is? It's like sometimes I get mad, to be honest, but they're fleas. They have nothing good to say. And people, in my experience, people after a while see through it. And from what I understand now, they're getting a lot of negative comments, people telling them, you know, why don't you talk about yourself? Why are you always talking about Sammy? Or why are you talking about Anthony now? A couple of people are talking about him. Why don't you just talk about yourself and what you're doing? And, you know, but people know you could see a fake and a phony. After a while, I don't know why they have certain followers. They don't have big amount. I don't know why they even watch them. Does that amuse you because somebody's bad-mouthing another person? You know, and you're constantly lying about things besides. So, I mean, if I catch somebody in a lie, I have trouble talking to them because I don't know when they're lying, when they're telling the truth. So that's why I try to never lie or exaggerate or do anything. Because first of all, you have a hard time remembering what the fuck you said. Secondly is that people see through that. So I would have no followers. I think being arguing with them would only help them, not hurt them. That's what they want.
Yeah.
They're bad-mouthing me, wanting me with my followers. I got 576,000 subscribers now. I got 110 million views. They want that.
Absolutely.
They're doing it for that reason now. They want me to answer, say their name, so people would go and listen to them. Oh, what is this argument about? That's what their game is. It's as crazy as that. So now some of them were in the street, but they have no story. There's one guy, I killed 40 guys. I batted fucking 100 guys. Anybody who believes something like that, you're out of your mind. So if you want to listen to that bullshit, I mean, you batted 100 guys. So everybody you hit with a bat, they didn't die. None of them came back. I know if you gave me a beating with a fucking bat on the street, you better kill me. Because I'd be in your fucking face so fucking fast. Maybe you could beat me up with a bat, or maybe even with your hands. But I'll come looking for you, and I'll kill you. I'm not hitting you with a bat. I'm gonna hit you with a fucking 38 or a 357 Magnum right in your forehead. So,
Yeah.
But who believes in that shit? Some people do.
You know, too, I was really shocked. Well, I shouldn't say shocked because it's the caliber of the followers that these people have. But, you know, your friend who, you know, has a rap sheet, did time in Parchment for a couple murders. You know, he's no, you know, street guy. And you're friends with him. And the people, and he's a black guy, and he is very educated now, and he is very successful. And the comments were so racist. And the stuff that they were putting out, those people that were talking crap, I was like, the N-word this, N-word that, and I'm like, who are these people that they're talking this hatred?
I don't know.
All
That's
the
what
time.
it is. They're full of hate. Who's that? When I met the black guy at the party?
Marcus, yeah.
Yeah. Now the guy's a construction guy. He's a tough guy. He's got a past. So I met him at a party. I was introduced to him. A couple of heavyweights. He's friends with them. And I went to dinner with him just recently, me and you,
Yeah.
Anna, right?
Great guy.
Yeah, we went to dinner with him and Rob and a few other people. And yeah, I get these, you know, what it was, somebody said, oh, look, he found his lover.
Yeah.
I mean, it shows that their mentality is like, why? Because he's black? You're putting it down because I'm with him that he's black? See, that's your mentality.
Absolutely.
So how do you want me to answer that? This guy's a stone fucking racist. The guy is a good guy. He's a construction guy now. He's a tough guy. Why am I with him? Why are you passing a comment about why I'm with him? My granddaughter's biracial, by the way.
Right. Yeah.
So if you don't like it, you can go and fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And if you don't like that I associate with black people in business in different ways, or you can go and fuck yourself. That's my opinion. And I don't want to even argue with them.
Right.
If they want to come and visit me like some other jerk came once or twice, get a slap in your face or get something, come and visit me. But if you want to talk on these things, I don't want to answer them because I don't get satisfaction out of answering a moron. You know, and the guy who asked me that question, you understand that. If somebody's going to call you a name and he's not going to come near you and you can't go near him, fuck him. You're not going to even bother with him.
Absolutely.
You know?
Thank you, Sammy. Bob Hood? Oh, hello, Warden Hood. Warden Hood is in the chat, Sammy.
Oh, Bob is in the We're doing pretty good, Mr. Hood, Bob. Everybody loves it, the great comments. I bet you took heat too. Somebody, you know, in your realm. Why would you sit with him? You know, but he's a man's man as well, and I'm sure he's blowing those comments off if he gets them. I didn't get very many. I really got a lot of comments. All the street people, I got to say this the truth, they think the world of you. They think you're a great guy to talk like you talked, and to help with prison reform. You know, it's people like you. You're coming out of a different lifestyle, a different world, and he's man enough to stand up and say, it's ugly, it's bad, it's excessive, and try to help people now. So, not that he's had to change his life. He was always a good guy. I was there to prove he was a good guy. But to come out of his circle of life, willing to take heat for it, to help people, it shows you he's a good guy. So if you want to knock him because he was a warden guy, then knock him. He's not going to give a shit. I don't care. It'll bother me, but a little bit. But I know you'd have to be an asshole. You got to respect people like this. I respect people. Listen, I don't care what color you are, what race you are, what nationality you are, whether you're a man or a woman, what your religious beliefs are. I can care less about all of that. I care about a person. Do I like or trust this person? Period. All the other things, gay, straight, I don't care what they are. I like people for their people, good people. Whether you're black, whether you're gay, whether you're straight, I don't care what you are. It don't matter to me. It's what you are as a person. So I'm colorblind, and I can care less about, I'm not homophobic, I'm not any of these things. I just look at the person. That's enough for me. So my man Bob is out here, and that's great. I don't know if Bob was here earlier in the show and he saw my introduction.
He did. So, for today's show, Sammy's going out as President Biden for Halloween.
And he just sent me a picture, and that's good. I think the world of him. I hope we're friends for the rest of our lives, and I know I'm going to like him for the rest of my life. So, great job. I'm glad you're here, Bob.
Awesome. Mitch 2024 would love to know, Sammy, what was your favorite cologne to wear to meetings back in the day?
I don't know the favorite. I had a couple of good ones. It was always my daughter picking colognes and stuff like that. So I don't remember the names, but there was a couple of real good ones. Mm-hmm. My sweat smells good. So usually I'm cool with that.
Sweet smelling sweat. We should bottle that from Sammy the Bull.
Sammy's sweat.
I think Betty Ann might buy that.
Yes.
Where is Betty Ann? Is our girl in the chat? No. Oh, dang it. Well, Simple Chloe has a very generous envelope for you.
Wait, let me talk about Betty Ann.
Yeah.
She's not in the set. She just sent me a text. She's got my number, so she sent me a text. And she said, Sammy, you remember the thing for Halloween? You were drinking the pumpkin pie latte, and she says, that's when I fell in love with you. She says, and now it's Halloween again, a year ago. So, and she sends me all kinds of hearts. She's a good person. Yeah. She jokes a lot, and she's real good. She's saying she likes to joke. She laughs and bullshit. She's a good person. Mm-hmm. So, wherever she is, that's my little thing to her.
We love you, Betty Ann. Tavano.
Yes.
So Simply Chloe, very generous envelope. Hi, Sammy. This is my first super chat. This is Dennis, Chloe's dad. Just wanted to tell you great job and look forward to the show every week. Amina, is that the one you want to read? Yeah, go ahead, babe.
So, Sammy, we had Dennis say, Sammy, great show as always. Just had a funny story to share. I live in Florida, so I'm usually working when you live stream. I typically watch your show when I get home every Monday. Tonight we were eating dinner at a restaurant and my 8-year-old daughter, Chloe, goes, Daddy, it's Monday. Are you going to watch that old guy that says bad words? Isn't his name Sammy the Bull? He says, my wife and I were laughing so hard. I said, of course, Chloe, every Monday. Thank you so much for everything, Sammy. Love you, bro.
So thank you so much. And I love letters like that and little kids like that. And say, bad words. All right, that's me.
I know. Real quick, though, could I, if you don't mind, Anna, can you give a quick shout out to Lily Rose from Ireland? cute little 5-year-old. She and her dad are tuning in right now. Her name is Lily Rose.
Hey, Lily Rose. Hey, Lily Rose. Uncle Sammy is here.
And then John Carl wants you to give a happy birthday shout out to his mom. Her birthday's tomorrow.
Who?
John Carl.
John Carl. Happy birthday, Mom. I don't know how old you are, but happy birthday. Have a great birthday party. You got great kids. And I hope you listen to me as well every once in a while.
And the last one, you got a very nice statement from Tara E. She says, I don't have a question, but more so of a statement. I started listening to Sammy about a week ago, and I listen to his stories as I go about my day while getting ready for work, and sometimes while I'm working. I'm a substance abuse psych nurse and sometimes feel a little stripped of all that I am. Listening to these stories, somehow I feel stronger and more confident as I go to work and face so many challenges. I'm a 50-year-old woman from a small town in Pennsylvania and currently live in Florida. This may never find its way to Sammy, but if it does, thank you. You mean so much to me. I don't know you personally, but how good it feels to listen and learn and apply your wisdom in real life. This is from Tara.
Thank you so much, Kara. And these things, letters like that and stuff, mean so much to me. I have no idea. You know, and stuff like that drowns out all that negative shit. I don't even think about that stuff. I read a letter like that, or a couple of people, Bob Hood on the show, and a whole bunch of other people who are on the show right now. I could give a shit less about those couple of people. That's why they're like fleas. I just flick them off, like a little annoying fly or a mosquito. That's what they ought to be. But these are the things that make my life, that I feel I'm doing the right thing and I'm doing a good thing, and I really, really enjoy this, these kind of comments and stuff like that. It just, it makes me glad I've changed my life and I'm in a different way, and I'm now helping people without even trying, telling the truth, talking about being strong and staying safe with families and stuff like that, and being able to counsel people who are in trouble with their marriages and stuff like that. So that's my life now, and I love it.
Amen, Sammy. Your boy Jay Marie is in the super chat, and he wants to tell you, boss, the guys that talk like that are the biggest losers and will never succeed in anything they do. So they are bitter and they spread hate, and fuck them. People like us are better suited for success.
Yes, Jay Marie. I met Jay Marie. We had a personal call. One day, I know him, think the world of him. Real tough guy, good guy, but changed his life. Talks like a man, acts like a man. And it's not just beating up people that make you a tough guy. It's guys who go to work, guys who try in business, they fail, they'll try again. They try in their marriages, they try with their kids. These are tough guys. These are tough guys too, and I love tough guys. People, cowards, I'm not too crazy about cowards. And those people who are name dropping and saying things that are bullshit, those are cowards. So they don't affect me in any way possible. I don't want a relationship with them. Don't care what they say or do. Don't care if they drop dead. So this is my cup of tea right now. Jay Marie and his friends and his relatives and everybody. And where's my other guy there? What's his name there?
Elgato?
Elgato. Where's Elgato? Elgato's not here either?
Yeah.
Oh, he's in this. All right. Elgato, another guy, champion guy. You know, men like that make me feel alive. That black guy I was going to dinner with, they make me feel alive. They're good people, tough guys, men in their own right. You don't have to be a killer. You don't have to be a beating people up. That's not a tough guy. A tough guy is what you are every day of the week. You know those guys who talk, I would love to see them in the ADX Supermax. I know they couldn't make it. I know that for a fact. They would die. They don't know how to live. They just know negativity. They know how to spread bad vibes. You can't do that in the ADX. Those are the people fall apart. They have nothing. They are nothing.
Yeah.
All right, let me get off of them.
Okay. Well, here's a good question, Sam. Sadan2324. Hi, Sammy. When Paul got clipped, did anyone go to the funeral? And how did you all make it so smooth and believable? Thank you.
I don't think very few people went to the funeral. A matter of fact, I don't know why, but I believe that the church wouldn't allow, a religious thing. I don't know. With the immediate family, it was extremely, very, very quiet, and I would have never went there. I would, I did go to some, not funerals, but things when people died, and I was involved. But this, I would have felt, no, it would have been too much. I would have felt like a complete hypocrite at that funeral. I did know his wife. I thought the world of her. I knew his daughters. I knew some of the sons. No, I couldn't go to that. I think I would have broke down. It was too much for me. And I don't think anybody went that I know of. Some people went out of disrespect. I didn't do it out of disrespect. I couldn't go. I just couldn't go.
Thank you, Sammy. Bob Gable wants to know, some say Sam Giancana was the biggest boss in his time. Was he bigger than the New York families?
Sam Giancana was a very big gangster. There's no two ways about it. He wasn't bigger than all of the New York families, no. Matter of fact, I know of a history of them. When they were going to kill Kennedy, there was a few bosses that got together. Sam Giancana was one of them. The guy who was in charge of Florida. Traficante, and the guy who was in charge of Louisiana.
Carlos
Marsalos. They ran it by Carlo Gambino for his blessings and his advice and everything like that. Carlo Gambino was very close to Mike Totto. I found it out later. And he not was involved in the murder, but he was involved talking with Carlo Gambino and reaching them. So if he was the biggest boss, bigger than all 5 families, he wouldn't have been reaching Carlo Gambino. Carlo Gambino was the boss of bosses. Anthony's father, Fat Andy, said the toughest guy he ever met in the mafia was the Mad Hatter.
Albert Anastasia.
Albert Anastasia. And the smartest guy he ever met was Carlo Gambino. And I agree with those things. Carlo Gambino was a very smart, very shrewd guy in every way. And he wasn't bloodthirsty at all. I mean, he had people killed. But again, that's part of the life. But he wasn't bloodthirsty, and he made things work. Everybody ate around him. He was a great boss. No question about it.
Awesome. Thank you, Sammy. J. Marie, back in the super chat. Hey, boss, was there ever a beef or problem that didn't get taken up the chain and was settled without telling the bosses? When does that become a problem?
That's not a problem as long as you could straighten it out. It doesn't have to go up the ladder. In other words, if I have a beef with another made guy in another family, I talk with him. If we could straighten it out, we straighten it out. If we can't, then it goes to our skippers, our captains. The captains talk. They can't straighten it out. It goes to the administration. It don't really come down. It most of the time goes up. So if you straighten it out, no problem. If you can't straighten it out, then it goes higher so that there's not a war or people killing each other, on their own, because you need permission to kill. So it usually goes up, the beef. But if you straighten the beef out, I've straightened out a lot of beefs before it went anywhere, even to my captain. As long as you straighten it out, actionable, I don't know the word there, each person are comfortable with the straightening it out, there's no reason to go up.
Interesting. Thank you, Sammy. Sammy, I know you got an email in from John.
Oh my God.
What?
I just pulled the fucking President Biden. I spilled coffee all over my dick, my pants, everything.
We can't see it, but Don't burn your little brajoule there.
No.
Your custard. What do they
No,
call it?
it's not. It's not even hot. The coffee. I didn't burn it, but I'm soaking wet.
Good Lord. Well, we're almost done, Sammy. I just wanted to, we want to tell your viewers about John Ball, Fred Ball's son, the DEA agent that sent you his cufflinks. How when he was asking you, he was going to New York and going to Sparks, and he actually laid down on the concrete.
I know. I saw the picture.
Tell your viewers what he said.
That was crazy. The guy went to Sparks. He invited me to go with him. I couldn't go to Sparks. I can't go to New York. But when he went there, I guess he was maybe with his son or whoever he was with. He laid down on the floor like he was dead, and somebody was taking a picture at him, and there was people looking at him.
They were cracking up, like where Castellano fell.
I know,
Oh
but
my
it wasn't exactly. Castellano was up further, right where the awning was. He was a little bit down further, but that was fucking insane.
Hilarious, dude. See the humor? And
Yeah.
humor is so see, women love humor. We think it is so sexy. So the hatred is ugly. We don't like that. Sexy humor,
Yeah.
make me laugh. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, it's that way around with women, men, how they look at women. You always want a woman to be beautiful with a great body, but you want her to have a beautiful smile, a sense of humor. You could talk to her, you can chill, you can relax. Some woman's got fucking real bad attitude. I don't care if she looks like Marilyn Monroe. You're not going to like her. You're going to talk to her, and she's coming off with this fucking attitude. I went out as a kid when I was young. I had the hots for Joey Heatherton. She was like, they were the perfect sleeper with a negligee. I had the hots for her. Somebody in the Colombo family said, You really like her, bro? Yeah, she's gorgeous. What's there not to like? He says, I could hook you up on a date. Really? Bro, I was on cloud nine. I was hooking up with her. When I met her, we went to, I think it was Gazebos, a disco place. She was dressed like a rag. She was snorting airplane glue.
Oh my God.
She smelt of the airplane glue, and she was sloppy, and she was gross. And I stayed a while, and then, everybody in the place was around her. So I said, let me get the fuck out. I grabbed the bartender, I paid my check, and I left her there. So one of the guys says, how's she going to get home? Bro, she's with 15,000 people. She could get it right in 2 seconds. So I left her. But, you can be gorgeous. You can be anything you want. If you're a miserable person, it's a complete turnoff to men. I think every guy would agree with that. You're all excited. You're like a little puppy. You want to take her out. You want to have sex with her. You want to whatever, kiss her. You want to hold her, and she's grumpy as a bastard. That completely disappears. I'm not interested, bro.
Wow.
I'm not interested. I'd rather jerk off than be with you. So it's the same way. I guess women feel the same way too. If you're going to be just a miserable bastard, there's a lot of things. It's not just sex with a relationship. Now, a lot of people are going to say, "Wow, what is he talking about?" But it's not. It's how much you laugh, how much you talk. I fell in love in my life a couple of times, and what I noticed is that a woman, if you really care for her, she could tell the stupidest joke in the world, and you'll be hysterical laughing. The guy will say, that wasn't that funny. It wasn't that funny to you. But no matter what she does, amuses me. Her laugh startles me. Her smile. All of these things a man is looking for. Of course he's looking to go to bed, but that's secondary compared to what he wants in a woman. I know it is with me. Unless you're with a hooker. You're giving her money, you go get laid, and you go away. I'm not into that. I've gone with a few hookers in my life, but it doesn't excite me. I'd like to be with a woman where you like her, she likes you, the sex is great, you can go to dinner. There's a whole picture, a whole thing around your relationship with her. It's not one thing.
Yeah.
Imagine the sex is good, but you go to dinner, you're arguing. Who's the who wants that? Most people won't want that. You want to have that bond. Both men and women, I think, want that bond. They want to be able to talk, not argue, not be ridiculed or put down. You're not going to put down a woman for whatever her little, oh, you got a little too much weight, or you got, she's not going to like you. You know?
Yeah.
So you can joke with her and laugh about it. She'll feel your vibe. And that's what a friendship, a relationship, whatever it is about.
Thank you, Sammy. Vito has a very generous envelope for you. Kick up to the boss. No question, no comment.
Thank you, Vito.
So it's a little after 2. Sammy, I'm going to hit your last super chat. Life of Lucrezia. How do you relax, Sammy the Bull?
How do I relax? You know, I found a way on YouTube. They have a channel, and you put on, there's a shack in the woods, and it's raining, and you hear the rain, you hear the crackling of the fireplace, and I sit there, and I'll have a cup of coffee, I'll be smoking a cigar, and I'll be visualizing myself in that picture. There's all kinds of different pictures, different, sets. Some places where it's in the country, you'll see the snow coming down the pine trees, little deers walking across, and they have this slow, gentle jazz, beautiful blues music in the background. I relax doing that. I relax in certain people's company when I go out. I go to dinner or something. And I relax when I work. I don't really relax, but I'm doing something I enjoy. If somebody thinks that I'm not enjoying this Q&A that I'm having now, the questions, the people, I can't see your faces, I wish I could. I wish we were all at a dinner in a place talking and I could see you and talk with you. That's relaxing to me. I can't think of a better thing to do, a better place to go. There's things I would have loved to go to Italy. I wanted to see Italy. I can't go, I'm on parole. There's a lot of places I would love to go. I can't do those things. But I could do these things. Amina comes sometimes with her kids. She's got 2 beautiful little kids, very well disciplined and trained by Amina. And that's relaxing to me to see those kids. They call me Mr. Sammy. Those are things I enjoy. I love those things. I love good people. I love things like that. Love to me is an important thing. Me and my wife were divorced from 1991. She divorced me. She had COPD. I'm still with her. I still talk with her every morning. I still take care of her if I could, if she needs my help. And a lot of times I'll call her up. Deb, what are you doing? You want to go to dinner? We go to dinner. I like love around me. I hate negativity, downers. I like people who are bubbly, alive. We came in here this morning and we were going to do a little skit about Joe Biden. And the girl's laughing. We were talking. I'm making believe I'm Joe Biden the way he walks. And it's enjoyable to me. I don't know what I would want to do more than being in this room right now with Amina and Anna and doing this. And I'm a small-time, easygoing guy. I'm not flashy. I got a little bit of a diamond ring. I got a Rolex on, but nothing major. That John Gotti flash, I was always against it. I'm still against it. I can care less. I drive a Kia. I could afford a better car than a Kia, but it's my car. It gets me to the store. I don't fall in love with a car. A car to me, if you're going to spend $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 on a car, it's flash. I'm not interested in that. I would rather open a business. I'd rather help somebody. I'd rather do other things. I'm not a gambler. I don't gamble. I remember a thing with Joe Watts. I spend my money my way. I go to a restaurant and I'll see a young kid busting her ass or his ass, working and going to school and college. A normal tip is like 20% for me. That's a big tip. That's a good tip, 20%, right?
Mm-hmm.
I give a 30% tip because I see they're busting their ass. And it's not that just I get better service. Of course, they like, oh, this guy gives a nice tip. I'm going to take care of him. I take care of them. And I like the point, not to bribe them to take care of me more, but that they're working hard. They're trying to make it. So I try to make it a little bit easier. So I'd rather spend money doing that than gambling it. Gambling it, I always lose. I buy the fucking lottery tickets, I can't hit one number. So I throw that money away. So I'd rather give it in a tip or something like that, and that pleases me. I'll see a smile, or when I come in, they'll go to get me. Mr. Gravano, you want to? No, Mr. Gravano, he didn't show up. I'm Sammy. You want me to sit down? I'm not, a protocol type of guy. I'm not into any of that bullshit. So I enjoy life. I know I'm 78 and a half, pushing 79. I don't have that many years left. I want to enjoy these years, and I want to enjoy the people around me. And I was going to say sex is secondary. Sex is not secondary. It's not really. It should be top of the list, but it's not. It's hard. So that's what I do. So guys, we had a little fun with it. It's time. I'm over the time already. I could sit here now, just to give you an example. I have to go. There's other things I have to do. I could sit here for another hour easily, without a problem. I enjoy this. That's how much I enjoy this. But I have to go to work. So adios, motherfuckers.